Man, what went down at the Elimination Chamber? Man, we got a lot to talk about. The first thing we got to talk about, well, John Cena. John Cena made a major heel turn. Probably the biggest heel turn I've ever seen in the history of WWE or the history of professional wrestling in general. This is bigger when Hulk Hogan turned heel. This is bigger even when Stone Cold Steve Austin turned heel at WrestleMania 17 and allied with his former nemesis, Vince McMahon. And I'll explain to you why this heel turn is even bigger than that heel turn. And it's bigger, and we'll discuss why it's bigger for good or bad reasons. I'll discuss the pros and the cons of the John Cena heel turn. And it's bigger because it may just be a con. And I didn't see the John Cena heel turn coming. And the reason I didn't see it coming is the same reason why this is maybe the biggest heel turn in WWE history or wrestling history in general. And that's because, is it believable? Can you tell the audience that John Cena, this guy who's been making Make-A-Wish foundations, this guy who has this this good boy, this peaceful guy, this uplifting attitude with these never quit, never back down, this is my final tour, this is for the fans. Can you believe that John Cena, everything he represents over the years, for the past 25 years as a WWE superstar, he was only a heel in 2002 and 2003, and he's been a babyface, a major babyface ever since he won that title at WrestleMania 21, at the very least. Can you believe it? Can you buy it that John Cena, who's been this character, this uplifting, inspirational character, who's inspired many kids particularly. He connected with younger fans particularly. Can you believe that this guy who does all that charity work is gonna be a heel? And I don't know if you can buy that. And I disagreed with Stone Cold Steve Austin turning heel at the time, but the next week on SmackDown or Raw, Steve Austin beat the heck out of his best friend Jim Ross, and he just beat him down. He beat him down in a very similar way John Cena beat down Cody Rhodes at the end of the Elimination Chamber. He beat him down with a belt. He just beat him down, and you can tell that this man, Stone Cold Steve Austin, is so psychotic. This is a man. He wants to be the best in the WWE, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, he doesn't care about friends. He doesn't even have to care if he has to ally with Vince McMahon. Stone Cold Steve Austin will take the title, and it doesn't matter if he has to ally himself with the devil himself, Vince McMahon, to become the WWE champion, which is what Stone Cold Steve Austin did at WrestleMania 17. And I talk about that WrestleMania 17 heel turn from Steve Austin because what I saw with John Cena turning heel at the Elimination Chamber has a lot of similarities to that Steve Austin heel turn. A major heel turn, an unexpected heel turn, a heel turn that, nobody could really believe it. It just didn't make sense that Steve Austin would turn and ally himself with Vince McMahon. It wasn't so much the heel turn itself, it's the fact that he allied himself with Vince McMahon. Now, in regards to John Cena, he's kind of allied himself and he sold his soul to The Rock, of all people, a man that John Cena's had major real heat with, a man who John Cena has infamously feuded with at WrestleMania 27, 28, 29. I mean, I think John Cena later said some good things about The Rock, but John Cena and The Rock both became movie stars. John Cena was initially unhappy that The Rock left WWE to go work on movies and could just come back whenever he wants and take a spot on the show. And now John Cena, ironically, is doing the same thing. Now, I had heard John Cena's retirement tour would be every week, Raw, SmackDown, the pay-per-views, but it looks like I'm not even sure John Cena is going to be on every Raw or SmackDown until WrestleMania. So I don't know how this was planned, if how long this angle was planned, and we can discuss the pros and the cons. The first major con, and it's sort of a strength because it's unexpected, but the first major con is, can you believe it? Can you believe that John Cena, this man who does all this charity work, this man who's had this this good boy American hero image for the past 20 years as a heel. As a baby face, as the ultimate baby face for the WWE. Can you believe he would turn heel? And it's not so much that he's turning heel; it's also the fact that he's turning heel on his retirement tour. And I kind of feel like the retirement tour has to define how you've lived, how you've been in the WWE. Has to represent your true character. But in the last year of John Cena's WWE career, in the last 10 months, he turning heel. And so, is there a redemption arc? Because Stone Cold Steve Austin had a redemption arc when he turned heel. We were thinking, when is Stone Cold Steve Austin gonna turn his back on Vince McMahon? When is he gonna finally, get his redemption and figure out, hey, I'm not allying with Vince McMahon anymore? We had that infamous Survivor Series tag team match for Team WWE versus Team Alliance, WCW and ECW Survivor Series 2001. And there was a little seed, a little brilliant seed planted by Vince McMahon in the storytelling. He said, somebody has defected to the alliance. And the story was set up so you thought Stone Cold Steve Austin defected to the alliance. But as it would turn out, it was actually Kurt Angle who defected to the alliance. And the story was presented one way, where you thought Steve Austin finally defected from Team Alliance to Team WWE. And at the time, Steve Austin was a heel, but as a heel allied with the Alliance. Steve Austin already turned his back on Vince McMahon at the Invasion angle, but Steve Austin was still a heel, and he was a heel from WrestleMania 17 to December 2001, when he started to become a face again. And it looks like we may have a similar setup here with John Cena. If he's retiring in December, John Cena will probably have a redemption arc where he becomes a face again. But it might be earlier than December. Maybe Steve Austin will get his redemption at SummerSlam. Maybe he'll get his redemption at maybe even WrestleMania. I mean, John Cena, he's got issues with The Rock. And you know what? I don't really buy Cody Rhodes turning on on becoming a heel anyway. Because that when you believe Kurt Angle was gonna become, when you believe Steve Austin was gonna turn on the alliance and join the WWF, and it was actually Kurt Angle, that was brilliant storytelling, and that's exactly what happened at Elimination Chamber, where WWE writers led you to believe it was Cody Rhodes who was going to turn heel, but it was actually unexpectedly, I don't think anyone expected it, John Cena turned heel. And that's a swerve, and that's storytelling. And WWE obviously had a cliffhanger to the Elimination Chamber, and the Elimination Chamber was one of the best WWE shows in history, one of the best pay-per-views in history. That Kevin Owens Sami Zayn match was incredible. And then it was followed up by an Elimination Chamber with six of the top performers in WWE. I thought CM Punk or John Cena, who have very big history with each other, would tell a brilliant story in that Elimination Chamber, and they both told an incredible story in that Elimination Chamber. And I love the way that, CM Punk was pointing at the WrestleMania sign in the Elimination Chamber. He had his goal set on WrestleMania, and the way CM Punk had his dreams crushed, the way after Seth Rollins had just been eliminated, curb stomped CM Punk's face into the steel on the outside of the chamber, and then John Cena put CM Punk into the STFU, and CM Punk, he didn't tap out because he wanted that dream. He wanted to be at WrestleMania Vegas. He wanted to achieve his dream of being in the main event of WrestleMania. Finally, after a WWE career, after a wrestling career of over 25 years, CM Punk wanted to achieve his dream and be in the main event of WrestleMania, and he wasn't going to tap out, but he paused out. And that was a moment like Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. So I thought that was brilliant booking for CM Punk. A brilliant way to book his story and a brilliant way to add extra emphasis and an extra level and a renewed level of energy for the Seth Rollins and CM Punk feud, which will be happening at WrestleMania this year for certain. And we'll talk about CM Punk and Seth Rollins feud another day, but back to the John Cena heel turn. Man, so the Rock faced Cody Rhodes, and he said, "Do you want to join me or do you not? Because if you're not going to join me, there will be consequences." And then Cody Rhodes, he responded, "I'm not going to give you my soul because these people have my soul." And then he says, "Rock, go f yourself. Go f yourself, Rock." And I was shocked to hear that because that's the first time in the 25 years I've been watching WWE that I've heard the the F word. And I was shocked to hear that something even more shocking happened after John Cena hugged Cody Rhodes. And I actually thought at this point The Rock said, "Okay, if you're not going to be my champion, then I'm going to insert myself into the John Cena Cody Rhodes match and make it a triple threat match." He didn't do that. Instead, The Rock gave John Cena the sign, and then John Cena kicked Cody Rhodes in the nether regions, and then John Cena proceeded to beat Cody Rhodes down with that belt. Bang, bang, bang on his back, just scolded like a scolded dog. And man, this was a major heel turn. It was an epic heel turn. The only downside of the heel turn is that I don't I don't I don't know if I could believe it. I couldn't believe it when it happened 24 hours ago. But now that I've processed it all, now that I've seen the heel turns, I thought about the Stone Cold Steve Austin heel turn at WrestleMania 17. I thought about that redemption arc. I thought, you know what? This was an epic moment. This was an epic moment, and I don't know if we've seen an epic moment like this ever since Stone Cold Steve Austin said Austin 316. Ever since Stone Cold Steve Austin um passed out to Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Ever since the Montreal screw job. Ever since Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30. But this moment right here was one of the all-time most iconic moments in WWE history. Like Mick Foley getting thrown off the cell at Bad Blood 1998. This was a moment that will go down, an iconic moment that will go down in WWE history. And I think this is the first time we've had a moment like this ever since maybe WrestleMania 33 when The Undertaker retired. Well, at the time it looked like he retired, but he hung up his coats and boots and left him in the ring. So this is probably the first big moment of WWE that we've seen this decade. It's one of the most iconic moments. It's one of the most iconic heel turns. And and as I said, the only downside is can you believe it? Can you believe that John Cena, this guy's done so much charity work, would turn heel? And I thought, you know what? Is there enough time for John Cena to get his redemption arc? Because you don't want John Cena to go out of his ending his career as a heel that just gets beaten by maybe Cody Rhodes in December, and then he shakes Cody Rhodes' hands, and then he comes a face and then leaves. I don't know if you want to do that, but you know what? If you want to end John Cena's career the right way, if you want to leave John Cena's career with a mark, if you don't want to do something that's boring or generic, then this heel run for John Cena would be something epic. It would be something amazing. It would be something that's unexpected, but I think it would be must-watch television if John Cena is on every Raw up until at least WrestleMania. It would be must-watch television. We don't know what's gonna happen with John Cena heel run, but I'm hoping that John Cena comes out on Raw to that Ducked Out Thugonomics music. Because that jazz music entrance that John Cena has, it has a uplifting beat to it. It has an inspirational beat to it. You can't come out to that music as a heel. When you have such a big heel turn, you've got to change the music. And that Dr. Thugonomics music, which I love that music. I think that's the music to have. If they don't have anything else planned, that's the music to have. And you got to change John Cena's shirts as well. You gotta change it to something else other than bright colors. You gotta change it to black, like I'm wearing today. You gotta have a new look. I don't know if he should start wearing tuxedos, but I think I'm looking forward to this feud. This and I said before on my previous Elimination Chambers prediction video, I said the major problem with John Cena and Cody Rhodes is that John Cena is a face, which is why I predicted Cody Rhodes may turn heel. And that's what the promo on SmackDown between The Rock and Cody Rhodes led the audience to believe. But they did a massive swerve, a perfect swerve, and I give the writers, I give Triple H as the booker tremendous credit for the way this swerve was handled. It was a massive swerve, and ultimately, after processing this for 24 hours, other than the fact I find it you can't really buy that John Cena would turn heel. This is acting, and John Cena is an actor, and he has played heel before. He hasn't played heel in the WWE in a long time, but I think he can pull off being a heel, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin pulled off being a heel. And in my opinion, Stone Cold Steve Austin was even a better performer as a heel than as a babyface. His matches, his storytelling, his angles were just more exciting when Stone Cold Steve Austin played that heel character in 2001. And I think we may be in something similar when John Cena turns heel. It's ironic it's happening at the very last year of his career, but overall, I think John Cena turning heel, it was a good decision to make. I didn't see it coming. Let me know if you saw it coming, but overall, I think this is a very good decision. And obviously, you got that Rock dynamic. Will John Cena take the title and then maybe, you know, STF, do the attitude adjustment on The Rock at WrestleMania? Hey, this wasn't about me partnering with you, Rock. This is about me beating Cody Rhodes and becoming champion after having lost matches for the 6 years. I think John Cena hasn't won a match. And I think his last time he won a match was WrestleMania 39, was it, against Austin Theory? So for the past 5 years, John Cena hasn't won a damn match until Elimination Chamber, and he wanted to, and now he's chasing that title. Now it will be pretty amazing if this happened all by accident, all by chance. I don't know how much John Cena had input into this booking decision, but I give credit to John Cena for this. I give credit to Triple H for this. I think it takes balls to do something like this, and I give Triple H credit for allowing this booking decision to take place. Obviously, John Cena has the power to call the shots as well, so I give John Cena the balls because it takes even more balls for John Cena to be able to call the shots and become a heel at the very last moment of his career. And you know what? Hopefully this is so good and this angle is playing a heel John Cena so good. Hopefully John Cena feels the energy and magnetism to be drawn into the WWE for longer than 1 year. I have a suspicion he'll be at next year's WrestleMania as well. I mean, when you're a performer like John Cena, why would you want to hang up the boots unless your body could no longer do it? Although John Cena, at a relatively young age of 44 years old, at a in prime condition as he is, his body will still be able to do it next year. The question is, does he have movie projects that are calling him, calling him, calling him? And let's just hope that we have no more movie projects, John Cena, or promotional projects for movies in the next month or 2 months because we need you on for Raw or SmackDown every week until WrestleMania in Vegas. I'm very hyped for this main event. I'm hyped for it more than ever now that I know that John Cena is a heel turn and we know that he has that extra dynamic with The Rock involved in this angle. So overall, I'm very happy with this story and pros versus cons. John Cena turning heel. Overall, I see mostly pros, and overall, it's pros, 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 pros. So we know it's a story. We know that it's mostly just acting anyway. So I can forgive the fact that it's kind of unbelievable that John Cena would not be a heel. I mean, when somebody's a heel, you can kind of believe that the guy's a bit of a bit of a jerk behind behind him, and then you think, okay, I can buy that guy's a heel, but you can't buy that John Cena's a jerk inside. So that's why it's a bit harder to buy John Cena as a heel, especially a sellout when he's had so much success in the WWE. Why would John Cena turn heel when he's had so much success after all these years? But overall, pros or cons, I see it as a pro because I'm a lot more excited for a WrestleMania main event, and I'm a lot more excited to watch Raw every week for the rest of the year, knowing that that John Cena's got a heel turn, and not just the heel turn story, not just the story of chasing Cody Rhodes, but the story of his redemption arc as he will surely become a face again before it's all over, and how that happens, how that unfolds, will be very exciting television to watch. So John Cena versus Cody Rhodes had John Cena as the heel. Do I buy what John Cena did at becoming a heel in the way he did at the end of Elimination Chamber by aligning himself with The Rock and selling himself with The Rock? Yes, I approve of this angle. I approve of this heel turn. It's one of the most iconic heel turns in WWE wrestling history, and I totally buy it. And it's an excellent booking decision, Triple H and the WWE writers did very good well here in this angle. And Elimination Chamber 2025 will go down as one of the most iconic shows in WWE history, similar to Money in the Bank 2011, where CM Punk became the WWE champion as he threatened to walk out of the company if he didn't win in Chicago Money in the Bank that night. And man, we got a lot of stuff to talk about CM Punk because CM Punk is an absolute champion. And I did not buy CM Punk becoming a heel either, even though I heard rumors. But CM Punk, that dynamic, that crowd dynamic, you got CM Punk's story all set. You don't need CM Punk to turn heel. And I don't think CM Punk needed to turn heel to face Cody Rhodes. But John Cena, babyface versus babyface against Cody Rhodes, I don't really buy that angle. But somebody turned heel now, and I totally buy this angle. Whoever booked this angle between John Cena becoming heel to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania Vegas, I don't know who booked it, but was Triple H listening to my channel? Because I basically said the main problem with John Cena versus Cody Rhodes that someone had to turn face. And obviously Triple H is no newbie to the wrestling business. He probably saw this problem as well. I didn't expect the swerve, and I give tremendous credit for the swerve and how John Cena became heel when the audience was led to believe that Cody Rhodes would turn heel. Tremendous swerve, tremendous credit, Triple H, tremendous credit to John Cena and all those involved in making this angle, this iconic heel turn work. And a heel turn which will go down like Mick Foley getting thrown off the cell in 98, or Stone Cold Steve Austin passing out at WrestleMania 13, or even to some extent more recently, CM Punk passing out at the Elimination Chamber last night as Seth Rollins smashed curb stomped CM Punk's dreams in his face on that steel barricade outside the ring, and John Cena STFU CM Punk's dreams go up in smoke. So I'm totally hyped for CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I'm totally hyped for John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And this heel turn, it was the biggest moment in wrestling history this decade. Maybe the biggest heel turn in WWE wrestling history. And I totally buy it. And this was a fantastic job, WWE. And I'm totally looking forward to watching every Raw until WrestleMania. And I may probably watch even beyond that because I want to see John Cena's redemption arc, and I want to see what goes down as John Cena as a heel character. And let's just hope John Cena comes out to that Doctor of Thugonomics music next week or this week on Raw. So anyway, that's all I got to say for you now. See you later.